Right, Budhe. Today we are going to discuss our fourth paper, right? Today we will discuss question related to units, unit conversions, and dimensions, right, Budhe? We have finished the theory points related to this topic. Today we will finish the questions, all the questions related to these theory points. Budhe, read the first question. In the equation t equals 2 phi square root capital M over gk rho t m g and rho represent periodic time, mass, gravitational acceleration, and density respectively. The dimensions of capital K can be. Here you have to find the dimensions of the unknown term. When you find the dimensions of the unknown term, first you have to subject the term. Then you can substitute the dimensions of the known terms. Then you can find the dimensions of unknown term. Right? Right. බලන්න පුතා. T equals 2 phi square root capital M over gk rho. Okay, first you have to subject the k now. T equals 2 phi equals capital M g k rho. Then you can subject to subject k. Then you have to consider the square value, right? මේ දෙපැත්තම square කරන්න. මේ square root අයින් කරගන්න ඕනනේ, right? Then the answer is t squared 4 phi squared capital M over gk rho. Then you can subject then you can subject k, no? K is equal to capital M into 4 phi squared cross multiplication, no? 0 over t squared. Now, if this equation is a correct equation, dimensions at the both sides should be equal, ne? At the dimension at the RHS, dimension at the RHS should be equal. Dimension at the LHS, left side dimensions also equal when another, right? Then you can write here dimensions of capital K should be equal to dimensions of capital M 4 into phi squared g rho t squared. Okay, then you can substitute dimensional formula of the known terms. Capital M is the mass, right? M. Okay, this one is a numerical value, no? Here, pi is 22 over 7, no? Then 4 phi squared is a numerical value. We do not consider dimensions for the numerical values, right? Again, මෙයාට numerical value එකක්. එයාට dimensions නැහැ. Then the dimensions is 1. That means dimensions of 4 phi squared is 1. Why? The reason is the 4 phi squared is a numerical value. We do not consider dimensions for the numerical values, right? It is not a physical quantity, no? Right. Then the dimensions of simple g, gravitational acceleration, LT minus 2. Dimensions of density, mass over volume, no? ml minus 3 dimensional formula, right? Here time t squared, t to the power 2. Then m to m cancel වෙනවා. Minus t2 plus t2 cancel වෙනවා. Then the answer is 1 over L to the power minus 2 plus 1 minus 3. Then L to the power minus 2. Then you can bring this term from denominator to numerator. Then the answer is L to the power 2. Answer is L to the power 2. Given choice, second choice, second. Answer is the second one. Right, Budhe? Right, Budhe. This question is a patta question, right? Good question, right? Let's see the question. Read the question, Budhe. The dimensions of the proportionality constant K in an equation that gives the gravitational force F acting between two masses M1 and M2 at a distance simple r from each other are the dimensional formula of K is given, right? M to the power minus 1, L to the power 3, and T to the power minus 2. Which of the following equations fits with the dimensions of K? Budhe, let's see the answers. See the answers. Budhe, let's see the answers. in four answers out of 5 answers given, right? You can observe that k is present at the numerator, right? Puthe, see the answers in the answers. First one, answer third one, and answer fourth one and fifth one. K is present at the K is present at the numerator. Therefore, let's first try to derive the relation among M1, M2 and R by considering that condition. What is the condition? The condition is K is positioned at the numerator, right? Let me explain the question, Puthe. Then you can write the relation among the physical quantities K, M1, M2 and R. And R. These are the physical quantities. You have to find the not simple letters, right? They are in capital letters, no? Capital M1, capital M2 and R. Then Puthe, here this one is the relation, right? Unknown relation, no? You can assume that this relation as X, right, Puthe? Then that means you can substitute the term X instead of this relation among these quantities, right? Then you can write here F equal K into X. X represent the relation among M1, M2 and R. Here you have assumed that X represent the relation among M1, M2 and M1, M2 and R. Got it? Right, Puthe. Then the plan is, then you have to find the dimensions of X by using dimension formula of F and by using the given dimension formula of K. Puthe, now you can write here, if this equation is a correct equation, make a correct එකක් නම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? Dimensions at the two side, Puthe, dimensions RHS, LHS, මේ sides දෙකේ dimensions මොකද වෙන්නේ? Should be equal. Dimensions of force, ඔයාලා දන්නවනේ MLT minus 2. Dimensions of K, they have given M minus 1, M to the power minus 1, L to the power 3 and T to the power minus 2. Then you can find dimensions of X. Let's see the dimension of X. Make a patta question එකක් ළමයි, right? බලන්න. L to the power 3 and මෙතන තියෙන්නේ T to the power minus 2, right? T to the power minus 2 to T to the power minus 2 cancel out. Then you can simplify. Puthe, when you bring this term to numerator, M to the power plus 1, M to the power plus 1, M to the power plus 1, M to the power plus 2. Here, Puthe, may L ta metana minus, sorry, metana L to the power 3, no? Then cancel out L to the power 2. I may vidiyanne. Then L to the power 2. When you bring the term to numerator, L to the power minus 2. Then the dimensions of capital X, dimensions of X you can obtain as M to the power 2, L to the power minus 2. Or M to the power 2, you can, L to the power 2 මෙතනම තියන්න පුළුවන්. L to the power 2 at the denominator. Then now you can identify the relation among these quantities. Puthe, here the dimensions of the mass here 2. That means M1 should be multiplied with the M2. That's why dimension of mass is 2 here. මෙතන බලන්න පුතේ M mass එකෙන්ම multiply වුණා නිසා නේද එයාගේ dimension එක 2 වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? That means then you can write the relation M1 into M2. Then you can consider the dimension at the denominator. Here the dimensions at the denominator is L to the power 2. Then you can consider the dimensions at the denominator. Here the dimensions is L to the power 2. Dimensions of L is 2. පුතේ මේ 2 අපිට මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ පුතේ length වල squared එකක් තියෙන. Length into length තියෙන්න ඕන. But the given answers there is only one R. පුතේ length represent කරන්නේ මේ R වනේ. එතකොට එහෙනම් එතන L squared උනේ කොහොමද ළමයි? R squared වෙන්න ඕනනේ. R ගෙන්ම multiply වෙන්න ඕන. R should be multiplied with R. Then here R squared. Then L squared, R represent the length, then length squared, right? Then the relation, then now you have identified the relation. Relation is M1 into M2 over R squared. Got it? Then you can write the expression. Expression should be F K. Now you know the relation among M2, M1, M2 and R. The relation is M1 into M2 over R squared. This one is the answer. We will discuss about this equation today in the gravitational field lesson, right? Right. This question number 3. Balan, make a patta question. Just read the question. Consider the equation F is equal to x to the power 2. Then there is a log value, right? You have to consider log value of the term ratio between y over z minus t to the power minus 3. This one is minus 3, right? Then plus PE minus QT, right? Today, find the dimensions of X, Y, Z, and Q. You have to find the dimensions of X, Y, Z, and Q. You have to find the dimension. And they have given is a numerical value. Is a numerical value, right? Then make a dimensions වල ජාතක කතාව වගේ. Why I'm telling this? The reason is you can remember, you can revise all the theory point, important theory point related to dimension by using this question, right? Balan, let's see the question. We can start from here, right? Balan, you can identify these two terms, Z and t to the power minus 3. These two terms subtracted. These two terms subtracted in the equation. You should remember, when two terms are subtracted in an equation, the two terms should have equal dimensions, equal units, right? That means dimensions of Z should be equal dimensions of t to the power minus 3. We discussed this theory point, right? Then you can revise the theory points. T represent time, then t to the power minus 3 is the dimensions of Z. Then you can find the dimensions of Y. To find the dimensions of Y, you can apply this theory point. The theory point is, here you consider log value of the term Y over Z minus t to the power 3. We consider dimensions only for the pure numbers, not for the physical quantities. That means this combination Y over Z minus t to the power minus 3 cannot exist dimension. Dimensions of this term should be 1. This term should be a numerical value, right? We consider log values only for the pure numbers, right? Then you can identify dimension of Y. Terms they subtract, they should have equal dimension, and the dimensions of the denominator should be equal the dimensions of each term. Yeah, t to the power minus 3. Then equals 1. Then you can find dimensions of Y. The dimensions of Y should be equal t to the power minus 3. Same dimension. Then you can identify t to the power minus 3 t to the power minus 3 when cancel out dimensions 1 right? Right. This one is the second point. Now you have find the dimensions of Y. Then you can find the dimensions of X. Now you can observe that these are the terms in the equation. There are 3 terms in the equation. These terms should have equal dimensions and unit, right? Then you can equate the dimensions of force and dimensions of this term, right? F should be equal to dimensions of x to the power 2 log Y over Z minus t to the power minus 3. right? මේ දෙකේ dimensions equal වෙන්න ඕන. And you can observe that here you have considered log value. පුතේ, let me explain. When you consider the log value of 100, this number answer is 2. And you should remember this answer is the 10th power that gives the same number. In dimensions, we discuss this theory point. This one should be a number. It cannot exist dimensions. Therefore, when you substitute the relevant value, for the example, if log y over z minus t to the power minus 3, the log value of this combination is a, then this one should be a 10th power that gives the same number. Will give y over z minus t to the power minus 3, right? And this one cannot exist dimension or units. Therefore, the dimensions of this term should be 1. This term cannot exist dimension. Because why? This term is a log value, right? When you substitute the corresponding value here, it is a 10th power. No? It cannot exist dimension. Then dimensions of force is mlt minus 2. This one is x squared. Then the dimensions of this term log y over z minus t to the power minus 3 should be 1. This term cannot exist dimension. We discussed this theory point in our theory class, right, Pude? Then you can consider the dimensions of x. Here you have to consider square root value of this term. That means half power. Ne? Square root එක කියන්නේ පුතේ half power එකනේ. Then the answer is m to the power half, l to the power half, and here t to the power minus 2 into half. Then the answer is m to the power half, l to the power half, and මෙයා cancel වුණාම මොකද වෙන්නේ පුතේ? t to the power minus 1. This one is the answer. This one is the dimensions of x. Right, Pute, now we have find the dimensions of z, dimensions of y, and dimensions of x, right? Now we have find the dimensions of x. Make a hurry, make a hurry, make a hurry. Then you have to find the dimensions of q. When you find the dimensions of q, what is the theory point, Pute? What is the related theory point? The related theory point is here. This one is a power. No? In the theory class, we have discussed for the powers indices cannot exist dimension. That means the dimensions of this term qt should be equal 1. Then dimensions of q you can obtain. The dimension of t is time, no? Capital T. Then q should be equal 1 over t, nathang t to the power minus 1. Now you have find the dimensions of all the terms. Got it? Right. මේකෙන් ළමයි ඔක්කොම theory points ටික revise වෙනවානේ. Right. ඒක නිසා හොඳ question එකක්. මම මේක ඇත්තටම දාන්න නෙමෙයි හිටියේ. නිකන් too much කියලා හිතුණා ඔක්කොම theory ටික මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන නිසා. හැබැයි කමක් නැහැ. ඔයාලට ආපහු නිකන් අද theory class එක කරා වගේ තමයි. Got it? Right. Let's see the next question today. In the next question, the periodic time of a soft bubble of simple harmonic motion. Soft bubble එකක් ගැන කියලා දිනවා බලමු මොනවද කියලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. අපි simple harmonic motion එකක් කියන්නේ මෙහෙම එයා vibrate වෙන එකක් කියලා හිතමු. දැනට ඔයාලට තේරෙන විදියට vibration එකක් නේ, right? at t equals 0 මේ vibration එකක් complete කරන්න යන time එකනේ. Capital T is given by the expression t equals p to the power a, d to the power b, and s to the power c, where p pressure, d density, s force acting on a unit length. ඔයාලට දීලා තියෙනවා surface tension කියන එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Force acting on a unit length mean unit length f over l. Then you can obtain the dimensions. Let me explain the dimensions of each term. T time, capital T ම තමයි නේද? Periodic time නේ. Then pressure. මේ බලන්න pressure එන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. එතන පේනවද උනේ? mlt force over area නේ. mlt my force, mlt minus 2 area l squared, right? then L to L cancel වෙනවා. Then dimension formula is M L minus 1 T minus 2 is the dimensional formula. This one is the dimensional formula of pressure. Then density, D density නේද පුතේ? D density. කොහොමද ඔයාලා density ගන්න මේ පුතේ මේ dimensions of density mass over volume L to the power 3. Dimensions of density is ml to the power minus 3. Then density pressure, surface tension, S, force acting on a unit area. Dimensions of surface tension, dimensions of force is mlt minus 2, again divide by L, no, L to L cancel out. Dimensions of surface tension is surface tension, force acting on a unit area is, dimensional formula is T to the power minus 2. M T to the power minus 2. These are the dimensions of each term in the equation. Then you can consider the given relation. The given relation is periodic time capital T is equal to P to the power A, D to the power B, and S to the power C. ඔයාලා මේ වගේ ක්වෙස්චන් එකක් කරනකොට මතක තියාගන්න අනිවාර්යෙන් මෙයාලගේ මේ signs numbers එක්ක ඔයාලා පරිස්සම් වෙන්න ඕන, right? Be careful with the numbers and the signs, right? ඕක පැටලුණොත් ඔක්කොම වැරදි. හරිද? ඒක නිසා බලමු. Right. If this equation is a correct equation, dimensions of these two terms, dimensions at the both sides should be equal, right? මේ දෙන්නගේ dimensions equal වෙන්න ඕනේ. Then dimensions of capital T is capital T, no? Then dimensions of pressure. M, dimensional formula of pressure, M L minus 1 T minus 2 to the power A. This one is the dimensional formula of pressure. Then dimensional formula of density D, M L minus 3 to the power B. Then the dimensional formula of surface tension, M T to the power minus 2 C. Right, Puthe? Then you can consider the dimensions of each term. Dimensions of M at this side, M to the power A, මෙතන M to the power A වෙනවනේ. Then M to the power B, and here M to the power C plus C. Then you can consider the dimensions of L at the right side. Here A multiply with minus 1, right? Minus A, this one minus 3B. For this one, no dimensions, ne? L dimensions naya. Then you can consider the dimensions of T at the right side. මෙතන එනවා පුතේ minus 2A, right? මෙතන නෑ dimensions එයාටනේ. ඔව් T නෑනේ පැත්තේ. මෙතන minus 2C. Right. These are the dimensions of M, L, and T at the right side. Then dimensions at the left side, MLT, M to the power 0, L to the power 0, no dimensions. Only T, no? T to the power 1, right? Then you can equate the dimensions of, you can write the dimensional formula for L by considering dimensions of L. 0 equal minus A minus 3B. 0 is equal to, here the dimensions of L is 0, no? Then at this side, L should have same dimension, no? Minus A minus 3B. Then you can subject B, 3B is equal to, when you can bring the term to opposite side, then 3B is equal to minus A, then B is equal to minus A divided by 3. This one is the dimensions of B. Then you can consider the dimensions of T. Could I consider the dimensions of T now? Here the dimensions of T is 1. at the left side, right? At the right side, dimensions of t is minus 2a minus 2c. Then you can subject c. You can bring the term to opposite side, 2c minus 2a. Then you can bring the term to left to right side, then minus 1. Then you can subject c. You can divide the equation, minus 2a minus 1 divided by 2. Then c, you can obtain c as minus a minus 2 divided by minus plus 2 minus a, no? And minus 1 over 2. Now we have find dimensions of b and c as expression of a, right? Here the value is minus a over 3. Here the c is equal to minus a minus 1 over half. Okay, then you can consider the dimension of the term. Then you can consider the dimension of capital M. First, you have to consider the dimensions of L. Then you have to consider the dimensions of T. Then you can consider the dimensions of M. Okay, at the left side, dimension of M is 0. At the right side, dimensions of M is A plus B plus C. Right. Easy. Then you can subject. Okay, now you have find B. B is minus A over 3. You can substitute B as minus A over 3, no? Make it. Then you can substitute C as minus A minus half. आमे plus A to minus से cancel लेना. Then 0 is equal to minus A over 3 minus half. Then you can bring the term to opposite side. A over 3 is equal to half, ne? Minus half, sorry. When you bring the term to opposite side, they are plus over 3, ne? Plus A over 3, ne? Then A is equal to minus 3 over 2. They are minus 3 over 2, right? Hurry. Now check the answers. So they now check the answers. Balanlamai. A is equal to minus 3 over 2. Right? Only one answer. First one. Right? Here you don't need to find the values for B and C. Why? Here you don't need to find values for B and C. Why? Put A minus 3 over 2 and answers එකයි නේ තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒතකොට මේක MCQ එකක් නේ. ඔයාලා මේක essay එකක් නම් නේ ඔක්කොම කරන්න ඕනනේ. Right? Got it? Just find the value of A, then you can identify that there is only one answer that gives A equal minus 3 over 2. අනිත් එකකවත් A වල value එක පුතේ minus 3 over 2 නෙමෙයි. That means answer should be the first one, right? Answer is the first one. You don't need to find the value of B and C. Right? බලමු මේ question එක පුතේ. මේකත් මරු question එක. හොඳද? Right. මේකත් ඉතින් මේ ඔයාලා මේ බලන්න මට මෙතන බං වැදගත්ම දේ මේක තියෙන්නේ, right? මම කියන දේ තේරුම් ගන්නilla, right? Physics වල වෙන්නේ ළමයි අපි මොනවා හරි theory ටිකක් උගන්වනවා. මොනවා හරි කියන්නේ syllabus එකේ තියෙන theories උගන්වනවා. ඊළඟට practical තියෙන මොකක් හරි story එකකට ඔයාලට ඕක ආදේශ කරගන්න substitute ඕක දාගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ, apply කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මේ බලන්න sir dimensional formula වලින් relations උගන්වන හැටි questions තුනක් class එකේ කරා last week. දැන් ඔයාලට තියෙන්නේ මේ දෙන කතා වලටත් ඒ theory එක apply කරන්න. හැබැයි පොඩ්ඩක් මේ වගේ ඊට වඩා එහාට ගිහිල්ලා තව එක point එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔයාලා ඒකත් catch කරන්න ඕනේ. මම කියන්නේ අන්න එතනට එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න. මම කැමති නෑ ඒක කාගෙන් හරි අහං කරන්න. මොකද අහං කරනවට ඔයාලා පුතේ හොඳ IQ level එකක් තියෙන ළමයිනේ. තනියෙන් try කරන්න. එතකොට පුළුවන්. right? දැන් එහෙම තනියෙන් try කරපු අයට ඒ සතුට දැනෙන්නේ නැති. වැරදුනත් කමක් නැහැ. මම මේකයි කියන්නේ. වැරදින එකත් වටිනවා. මොකද මේ method එක වැරදි කියලා හරි උඹ එකෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. right? To find the distance d over which a signal can be seen clearly in a foggy condition, a railway engineers uses dimensional analysis and assume that the distance depends on the දැන් මේ කතාව මුකුත් හිතන්න එපා. දැන් ඔය රේල් පාරේ කොච්චි එක ගියපු කෙනෙක්ට මට පේනවා මට ඔක නිකන් ඉමැජින් වෙනවා. ඉතින් ළමයි මොකද වෙන්න ඕනද? දැන් ඔය බදුලු පාරේ එහෙම ගියා නම් අර මීදුම තියෙන වෙලාවට පේන්නේ නැතුව යනවනේ. නිකන් හිතන්න ජස්ට් මේ වගේ ස්ටෝරි එකක් කියන්නේ කියලා. right? අපිට ඒ ඕනේ නැහැ ඇත්තටම. that the distance depends on the density rho. distance d කියලා ගමුනේ. depends on the density rho. then rho to the power a කියලා ගමු. Rho of the fog and intensity power over area s to the power b, intensity of the light, and its frequency f, frequencies c. Then you can assume that d dependency of rho density, s intensity, and frequency of light f, d is rho to the power a is directly proportional to d, s to the power b is directly proportional to d, and f to the power c is directly proportional to d. Right? The engineer finds that d is proportional to the engineer finds that d is proportional to s to the power 1 over n. එයා එකක් දීලා තියෙනවානේ. එහෙනම් මෙහෙම කරමු. මෙයා f to the power b කියලා දානවා. Then s to the power they have given no. Question is in the question they have given d is directly proportional to not s to the power b. No, එයා කියලා දෙනවා s to the power c කියලා ගන්න එපා 1 over n කියලා ගන්න කියලා. හැබැයි මේ 1 over n උත් එක්ක වැඩේ යන එක ටිකක් අපරාධ ළමයි. වැඩේ ටිකක් අමාරු වෙටන වැඩක්. අපි මේක c කියලාම ගමු. Right? Then you can assume that d is directly proportional to rho to the power. I assume that 1 over n is equal to c. Then d is directly proportional to a, d is directly proportional to f to the power b, and d is directly proportional to intensity s to the power c. By considering all the facts, you can write here d is directly proportional to rho to the power a, f to the power b, and s to the power c. Then you can equate the equation, this equation, by applying proportionality constant k. K is a dimensionless constant. Then rho to the power a, f to the power b, and s to the power c. If this equation is a correct equation, dimensions should be equal. මේ sides වල dimensions මොකද වෙන්න ඕන පුතේ? Equal වෙන්න ඕන. Then dimensions of capital B term should be equal to dimensions of this term. Dimensions at the මොකද මේ පැත්ත right side, right? Rho to the power a, f to the power b, and s to the power c. Then this distance no, then dimensions is capital L. This one is dimensionless constant no, එතකොට යට නෑ 1. Rho, you should know the dimensional formula of each term no. Rho density ml minus 3. Then frequency f t minus 1 over t no, then t minus 1. Frequency you can obtain as 1 over t, then t to the power minus 1. S intensity, right? Dimensions of s is given, right? Yeah, dimensions of s is m t to the power minus 3. Right, now you know the dimensions of each term. Then you can substitute the dimensions. M L minus 3 to the power A. Dimensions of F frequency, dimensional formula known. Minus 1 into B, T to the power minus 1 into B. Then dimensions of the term S, dimensional formula of the term S, intensity, m t to the power minus 3, then the power is c. Right, here the dimension, you see no, dimensions you can write m to the power 0, l t to the power 0, right? Dimensions of l is 1. Then you can write the dimensions of m at the right side. Here the a මෙතන එනවා පුතේ මෙයාට නෑනේ plus c, right? A plus c. Then you can consider the dimensions of L at the right side, minus 3a, no dimension. Minus 3, right? Only minus, yeah, minus 3L. Minus 3 ne, මෙයාට නෑ මේ පැත්ත වෙනවා. Then dimensions of capital T, minus B, minus 3C. These are the dimensions of MLT at the right side. Right, Pute. Now you can find the, you have to find of the value of, you have to find the value of C, no? Right, easy. Pute, did you see the answer? Right? මෙතනින් ඔයාලට answer එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. You can identify the dimensions of L now. By considering dimensions of L, 1 is equal to minus 3a. Then a is equal to 1 over minus 3. Dimensions of, sorry, a is equal to minus 1 over 3. Then you can consider the dimensions of capital M. Then you can consider the dimensions of capital M. Here the dimensions of capital M is 0, no? For this one, dimensions of capital M is a plus c. Now you have find the dimensions of a. Dimensions of a is minus 1 over 3. Then c is equal 1 over 3. At this step, right? Now you have find the value of c. Now you can substitute c. C 1 over 3 kilani. Then you can obtain n is equal to 3. Answer is කොබලන්න මේකට answers කතුපොයි. දැන් කොබලන්න මේ වෙනකන් ඔක්කොම ටික හරියයි දාගෙන යන්න බලන්න. මේ ඔක්කොම. හරි. නියමයි ඉතින් මේ බලන්න හරියයි ඉන්නවා. නියමයි පුතේ. නියමයි ඔසිත. නියමයි. මාසිලා වැඩ කරා. right. ඒ කියන්නේ එහෙම හරි කියා කියන්නේ පුතේ අර ඔයාලට හිතන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක. අනිත් අය try කරන්න ඕනේ. එතෙන්ට ඒක කරන විදිය තමයි සර් කියලා තියෙන්නේ. ආයි questions practice කරන්න. ආයි කරන්න ඕන. තේරුණානේ? දැන් මේ answers දැන් ඔයාලටත් පේන වෙද්දී මේ answers correct ඔක්කොම හරියයි ඉන්නවා. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් එතකොට Taman තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන මම එහෙනම් කරාමදි. මම තව කරන්න ඕන. කළා අර level එකට එන්න ඕන. මොකද අන්තිමට medical faculty එකට යන්නේ engineering faculty එකට යන්නේ පුතේ එකම level එකක ඉන්න set එක. ඉතින් Taman එතන නැත්තම් වැඩිපුර වැඩ කරලා එතෙන්ට එන්න ඕන. ඒක තමයි රහස. තේරුණා නේද? Right. Right, Pute, let's see the next question. The time period T of a simple pendulum L is given by T equals to 5L over G. Right. අපි දන්නවනේ මේකනේ. මේක derive කරා ඔයාලට මතක ඇති පුතේ. T equals to 5L over G. Right. You should know the meaning of this square root. පුතේ මේ square root කියන්නේ කවුද? L to the power half. G to the power half. නේ. මේ තියෙන පුතේ 25 root L over root G no. අපිට root කියන එක express කරන්න පුළුවන් එයාගේ half power එක විදිහට. Then when you bring this term from denominator to numerator, the sign of this index changes. 25 L to the power half, G to the power minus half. Easy nේද ළමයි. Then A is equal to plus half, B is equal to minus half. Right. ඔන්න ඔය ඔක්කොම කරලා දාමුනේ. ආයෙ ඔය ක්ලාස් එකේදී කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. right. ඔන්න ඔක දාගන්න. තව දෙයක් මම තේරුම් ගන්න. ඔයාලට දෙයක් තේරෙන්න. මම මේක මෙතෙන්ට දැම්මයි කියලා කියන්න. දැන් මේක හරියටම ඕඩර් එකේ අර මම මේ ක්වෙස්චන් එක පුතේ මෙන්න මේක මතක තියාගන්න. මේකත් ඔයාලා ස්ටඩි කරන්න ඕන පොයින්ට් එකක්. මේක උනේ 2014-15 වලින් පස්සේ තමයි මේ වැඩේ උනේ. පුතේ වෙනකන් papers වල first 30 first question එකේ ඉඳලා question number 30 වෙනකන් 30-35 වෙනකම් පුතේ questions ටික easy. එක දිගට කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අමාරු questions තිබ්බේ. හරිද? ඒ වුණාට දැන් ළමයි අර දැන් question number 7 එකත් අමාරු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. question number 3 එකත් අමාරු එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ අර එහෙම order එකක් නෑ දැන් paper එකේ. අමාරුම questions මුලට දාන වෙලාවලුත් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි ලේසිම questions උත් තියෙනවා. දැන් ඔයාලට feel වුණාද මතක බලන්න මේ paper එක කරනකොට ඔයාලට මේට උඩින් question එක ටිකක් අමාරු වෙන්නේ ළමයි. එතකොට ඒ mentality එකේ ඉඳලා මේක බලනකොටත් ඔයාලට අමාරුයි කියලා දැනෙන්නේ නැති. හැබැයි මේකේ ඔයාලට තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ ඇති දෙයක් නෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලා තේරුම් ගන්න paper එකක questions අපි කරගෙන practice කරගෙන යනකොට ළමයි දැන් question එකක් අමාරු නා කියලා ඒක ඊළඟ එක අමාරු වෙන්නේ නෑ ළමයි. හැබැයි අර ඒ mentality එක අපේ හිතේ තියෙනවා. ඒ inertia එක තියන් තමයි අපි ඊළඟ එකට යන්නේ. හැබැයි ඒක අපිට අවාසියක් ළමයි. ඇයි? එතකොට මේ වගේ lazy question එකක් වුණත් අපේ අතින් මිස් වෙයි. හරිද? ඒක නිසා ඒක වෙන්න දෙන්න එපා. කියන්නේ එක question එකක ඉඳලා ඊළඟ question එකට යනකොට ආයිත් refresh වෙලා යන්න ඕන. තේරුණා නේද? මේ mentality එකෙන් ගියොත් අරක අමාරු නම් මේකත් ඒ වගේ දැනෙයි. හැබැයි මේක එහෙම දෙයක් නෑ. මේක ඇති දෙයක් නෑ. මේක මේ indices වල rule විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. rules විතරයි නේ. වෙන මොකුත් නෑනේ. right. right පුතාලා. හරි මම question number 7 කරලා I will finish the class right. right. හරිද මේ question number 7 කරලා ඉවර කරන්නම් right. මේක කරලා ඉවර කරන්නම් right. මේක විතරයි. අවසාන අන්තිම ෆයිනල් එක අවසාන ෆයිනල් එක කරන්නේ බලාගන්න. right. බලන්න the new physical quantity x is defined as x is equal to f to the power a v to the power b and rho to the power c divide by v to the power d. If x is dimensionless, find the relation between a, b, c. If x is a dimensionless, right? If x is a dimensionless, find the relation among a, b, c, d, right? F force, v velocity, volume, v velocity, right? Rho density, p pressure. Right, Puti? Then you can multiply p into x, right? Then p to the power d into x is equal to f to the power a, v to the power b, and rho to the power c. Then if this equation is, then you can obtain another equation. If this equation is a dimensionally correct equation, dimensions at the two sides should be equal. That means these dimensions of p to the power d into x should be equal dimensions of f to the power a, v to the power b, and rho to the power c. Right, Puti. Then pressure. Dimensions of pressure is m, l minus 1, t minus 2. Right, to the power d. This one is dimensionless constant. Right. Dimensions of force. mlt minus 2 into a. Dimensions of velocity. lt minus 1 into b. Dimensions of density rho. m l to the power minus 3 to the power c. Right, verticality. Dimensions of pressure में mlt minus 2 divided by l squared, no, then ml minus 1 t minus 2. Right, you should remember the dimensions of these terms, right? Then okay, you can write the dimension, you can expand this formula. M to the power d, l to the power minus d, t to the power minus 2d. M to the power a, dimensions of m, dimensions of m at the right side, right? M to the power a, here no, m nani, m to the power c. Then l to the power a, l to the power plus b, l to the power minus 3c. Then you can consider the dimensions of capital T. T to the power minus 2a. Minus 2a, no? T to the power minus b. These are the dimensions of T. Right. Putala, then you easy. Now, did you see the answer? You can equate dimensions of capital L at the two sides. මේ දකින්න එක තමයි ළමයි ඉම්ප්‍රූව් කරන්න ඕන. හොඳද? ඔයාලා ඉම්ප්‍රූව් වෙන්න ඕන මෙන්න මෙතන. දැන් මේ සර් මේක ලිව්ව ගමන් සර් දැක්කනේ ආන්සර් එක. දැන් ඔයාලත් එතෙන්ට එන්න ඕනේ. මම දන්නවා ඉතින් ඔයාලා මේ වගේ එක්ස්ප්‍රෙෂන් එකක් ලියන්නේ ෆස්ට් ටයිම් නේ මේ ක්වෙස්චන් එකට නේ ලිව්වේ ජීවිතේ ෆස්ට් ටයිම්. ඉතින් ඔයාලට එක සැරේට පේන්නේ නැහැ මම ඒකයි කියන්නේ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කළා මේ ආන්සර්ස් දකින්න කෙනෙක් වෙන්න කියලා. ඒකයි බම් මෙහෙම තියරි ක්ලාස් එකක් කරද්දි පැය 4ක තියරි ක්ලාස් එකක් කරද්දි තව මෙහෙම ෆ්‍රී පේපර් ක්ලාස් එකක් දාලා මේ කරගෙන යන්න. මොකද ඔයාලා මේ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් ගන්න තරමට තමයි බං උඹලා දියුණුවේ. එතකොට තමයි ගොඩ යන්නේ වැඩි. රයිට්? එතකොට තමයි ආයිත් රිසල්ට්ස් හොඳ රිසල්ට්ස් එන්නේ. එතකොට තමයි ඔයාලා ස්කූල් වල ගිහිල්ලා හොඳ ටර්ම් ටෙස්ට් වලට මාක්ස් ගන්නෙ. එතකොට තමයි යාළුවා අහන්නේ කාගේද බං ෆිසික්ස් වලට යන්නේ කියලා. එතකොට තමයි ඉතින් right. Then you can equate the dimensions of capital L at the two sides. Then minus d පුතේ මේ බලන්න මේ පැත්තේ dimensions තියෙනවා a plus b plus a plus b minus 3c. ඔයාලට මේ ටර්ම් එක අරහෙට ගෙන යන විතරනේ පුතේ තියෙන්නේ. මේක ඇති දෙයක් නෑනේ. This one is the relation a plus b minus 3c plus d. ඇති ඔය ඇති. තව කරන්නේ. Right, Putala, now we have discussed all the questions related to units, unit conversion and dimensions. Right, Pute? Next week we will start new lesson. The new lesson is measuring instrument, right? Next week we will discuss theory point related to errors, percentage errors and vernier theory, right?